Alright, welcome back to the video. My name is Kevin, founder of Result Excel. For those of you who already watched the video or subscribed before, we're not going to be doing more the whiteboard style today, just more for just you and I one-on-one talking, right? You know, as me, helping much business owners to grow as possible. At the same time, you're the business owner on the other side of the screen where you plan to start a business. So this one's more of a kind of like a sanity check, right? So it's more for like asking you in the beginning point, like what do you exactly want to do? And then maybe sometimes you don't really have an answer yet. So this video really just kind of get us kind of like a one-on-one interview-ish type of video. So the reason I want to do this video is that during the process what we do in the prospecting of funding our clients, right, we have to find that many of our prospects, it's not the fact that they're not passionate, right? They have a whole board list of everything, skill, experience, why they start this, X, Y, and Z, whatnot. But the fact that is, it just doesn't really match what they really want to do. The difference is that when we see a successful one, they really have something in mind, and then they're always making changes in the positive way to make adjustment, to make it for better growth, right? For better testing, make sure it's working, hitting to our target audience, so that way that they can always getting the correct ICP to their business, right? Ideal client profile. So the fact is that all these are just more of on the action side of it, in the business side, but to really make it work itself is really more on the inside, right? The mindset and mentalities. Because when you first start off, you really don't know what you want to do. That's totally fair. But I think to a certain period of time, you should understand that this is how business work, right? It's not that easy, right? It takes time. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of short sleep every single night. But in the short period of time, right? Maybe 6 months to 1 year, if you are committed to it, congratulations, first of all. But also at the same time, the question is really the path you want to go with it, right? Because a lot of us doing this in the beginning, the start, we still have our 9-to-5 job, right? And then we still got to pay bills, part of life, right? Totally normal. So the question we come back to is like, here's a couple of scenarios, right? So are you doing it just more of a solo, right? By yourself, pay the bills, hopefully eventually quit 9-to-5, do this more of like I won't call it lifestyle where you see on the Instagram where people, you know, doing it with their laptop on the beach, doing all that, but it's more of like, you're your own boss, right? And you're the one to provide service. You're the one that getting clients. Mostly, you know, maybe something from your social media, your organic marketing, and then you barely spend any much money on the paid marketing side of it, more from word of mouth. Totally fair, you can do that. Or you're previously doing the service for a bigger company, and then the client just like you so much, the fact that they have all the trust with you, they come in during your business instead of working with a corporate, right? They pay you directly. Also at the same time, they have more friends who are interested to bring you in, so they help because you're just doing service so good. That's totally fine too, right? Or there's more of like the psychics apps that, you know, you can post your service about it and then people discover you. But of course, you still got to pay fees for that. It's kind of like the same thing as paid marketing agency pay them for the fact that for them to show your profile on the app to eventually to grow there. So there's many ways. But of course, there's also how big do you want to go with it, right? You can also eventually open your locations. Now the question is that what do you really have in mind, right? If you want to just do this because you like doing this, right? Maybe the chance that affect that is the fact, yeah, maybe it's a good idea just starting with your brand name itself, right? So it's just always all about you. Now, if you want to turn to a business brand, of course you have a business name because it's very key, right? A lot of people think that naming the business is super simple. It is simple, come up with a name, right? So just make sure people are able to understand. But also at the same time, like, are you leaning towards on the business side of it, where eventually you want to go big? You can, you know, sell it out as a franchise or grow as a corporate, totally up to you. You know, it just depends on where direction you want to go with it. But the really reality check is that, like, I will say after 6 months to a year, if you're able to still stay around with the business, you should have a reality check, like, is this something you really want to continue to grow? Because we do also came across a lot of prospects that, you know, we look at it that has potential, we're doing research on. They're honestly already out of business at this point. But in our opinion, that it's not too late for us. It's not always too late for us to help, but to the point I think that because, you know, business is not easy. A lot of people can argue that, you know, it's just hard as 9-to-5. Sure, it totally depends, right? Sometimes you get laid off and then find another job. But the difference is that, you know, with 9-to-5, I don't know what country you're watching this video, but mostly I'm talking in the US, right? So you get to your age 65. You know, you work for a company doesn't matter, you get laid off or you get promoted or go to a different company for a long time to 65, right? Go there, work, show up, and then till 65 retire. With a business perspective, you know, I think it's just different comfort zone people want to do it, right? because different comfort zone also you are also getting a trade-off of different rewards, different fulfillment. Because with the business itself, you building this thing, you make it work, or you fail many times, you make it work, right? Just same thing like people in the job getting laid off. But the difference is the fact that you are putting the asset, the value, the time and money into this business, make it work eventually. So the fact that end of the day, as you commit and make it happen, you at least you own, it doesn't matter, piece of pie of it, sold most majority of business, or you own the full pie of it, right? Which is for someone else's business, you could argue to give you stock share or whatnot, but you still just the small piece of pie, right? Why a small piece of pie do that percentage, right? Less than percentage of that. So, and at the same time, as technology, everything keep growing, eventually it could just replace you. That's just the hard reality of work for someone. But doesn't mean that work was a bad idea, right? And you always might be questioning, like, you could provide service for someone's corporate company. That's totally fine. Yeah, so this video is really super simple, super short. We're not doing any old school whiteboard style, just more of a reality check. It's like, after we saw our prospect, we're looking at it with a different, business and different years business. Some are still active, still posting their contents, organic marketing, still active, still keep going, still getting reviews. Some of them, in the beginning, they go a lot of volume, were some decent volumes, whatnot, and then work a few volumes, and then through a period of time, maybe to 50% doing it, kind of just give up and left out, and then still kind of in business, but just kind of run exactly, whatever happens, maybe just like a, you can say like a side hobby, just not really fully into it. So that's part of the business, man. Like I said, this video, I'm not sure how I can name it, but I just think the fact that it's good to, chat with you, to really have a quick sanity check, right? Especially you're in the new space of business, right? Doesn't matter you're doing remotely, or you're doing like you have a brick and mortar business, you had to pay a lot of expensive fee, because everything come to your mind, right? There's a lot of struggle and challenges, because running a business, not just more of a take care of yourself, make sure you have a place to sleep and eat, right? But also at the same time, it's like the style of business you need, right? Expenses, everything, because that's when it comes to problem. Because you realize that in the beginning part, you can be very good at what they offer, right? That's what everyone tells you. But also at the same time, they don't tell the reality of there's a huge bill, not just in the money perspective, like time, stress, energy management, everything to really pay into it, right? And also at the same time, if you have a brick motor, like I said earlier, you do have electric bills, all that thing coming in, right? So you have this pedal stove, you had to make this money to make sure that this expense to be low as possible, right? During the pedal stove. Or if you don't, you either be lucky, even up, you just barely make it to the next month, or you're just gonna be soon to be bankrupt. So yeah, that's part of the business. But of course, in the future, we'll have more video drop off on the side of how you started, how you grow it. It's gonna be a long term, just like how we do it, right? We just committed to continue to do it, because we know our mission is just impact to make more business, have more growth, and then to make us fulfill. At the same time, in the future, we can go forward to make or helping more bigger brands, whatnot. But yeah, thank you for watching the video. And then, like I said, if you're already at a point for after 6 months straight commitment into the business, or a year, really ask yourself, how big you want to grow this business. That's the reality is, because like, if you're not super hungry about it anymore, maybe the chance that this business is just not for you, and that's totally okay. Now business, business is not for everyone, right? That's part of life. Yeah, thank you for watching. And like I said, if you have a business to grow, please click the link below. We're happy to help. We'd love to learn more about your business. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Peace.